Thanks to Skillshare for supporting this episode of Journey to the Microcosmos. The first 1,000 people to click on the link in the description can get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare's premium membership. If you have a cat, you've probably witnessed them chasing down the insects and spiders and other crawly creatures that live in your home. Our master of microscopes, James, has 2 cats, and so he is the beneficiary of their combined hunting prowess. So, James decided to turn that bounty over to the microscope, and to see how these familiar creatures look when we see them up close, and also to see what autofluorescence they reveal when we use our fluorescent light. Now, this is a bit different than our usual path into more microbial realms, where little droplets of water reveal new worlds and new creatures. Instead, this time, we're looking at creatures who are quite visible and even familiar. But it's always fun to see familiar sights in unfamiliar ways, and to see what else there might be there to learn. For example, let us talk about the silverfish. Now, if you don't recognize that name, maybe the silverfish sounds like an elegant creature you'd find swimming in a fantastical river. But in reality, they are those tiny wingless insects that you find scurrying around in humid spots like your bathroom. And our homes are full of their favorite foods, whether that's the glue binding a book together, wallpaper, or dry food in our pantries. And unfortunately, we don't have footage of the next thing we're about to tell you, but it's the kind of thing that when you learn it, you have to share it. The silverfish you are looking at right now might be remarkably still, but that stillness conceals the heart of a dancer. When it comes time for reproduction, male and female silverfish have a whole routine that they work through. They begin by facing each other and tapping their antennae against each other before backing away, and then they repeat this, coming closer and then coming apart until the male silverfish runs away. Then the female tracks him down, and when she does, they lay head to tail, vibrating with reproductive intent. The male will deposit a sperm capsule on the ground, the female will pick it up, and from there, a new generation of crawling silverfish will be born. Unfortunately, we do not have a fun story like that to tell you about this spider for the very simple reason that we don't know what kind of spider it is. All we know about it is what you can see. It is tiny and green with little bits of white hair, and its eyes. If you hate spiders, maybe those eyes are kind of scary, but we think they're actually really lovely and a little endearing. We also know that this was quite the lucky spider because it was not killed by James's cats, which is why you can see it moving around. Unlike this unfortunate spider, which met its end before we put it under the microscope, but it seems to be twitching a bit when we turn the UV light on. Now, we didn't put our mystery green friend under the UV light in case that might have fried it to death. Instead, James decided to release it, so hopefully it is now off living a wonderful life somewhere. But we would love to know what kind of spider it is, so if any of you know anything that can help us identify it, please let us know in the comments. Now this, however, is part of a very familiar insect. They are the little fuzzy hairs on a housefly's butt. And here, up close, are its wings, with hints of iridescence popping against the dark background. That color is not the result of pigments, it's a structure inside the wing itself that bounce light back in a way that produces the multifaceted, filmy color we see. And when we turn the fluorescent light on, that iridescence goes away, but the patterns of veins running through the wings becomes more apparent. If we travel further down, we get to one of the fly's feet, which has some strange autofluorescence at the side. Now, we're not entomologists, but our guess is that the autofluorescence is connected to structures in the feet that help the fly taste their food. That's right, flies taste with their feet. As they're flying around and landing on potential food, they use the taste receptors on their feet to get a sense of whether their landing spot is actually edible. Unfortunately, of course, those edible landing spots happen to be my food, or yours, but mostly I'm concerned about mine. Now, flies, however, are a much less threatening household pest compared to this one, the scorpion. Now, just to reassure you, there was no cat versus scorpion showdown to bring you this image. This scorpion was a souvenir, preserved and bought in Thailand, and then brought to James's home by the previous tenants of that home. And when we turn on the UV light, almost the entire scorpion seems to turn blue. That's a handy trick for finding scorpions in the dark. You just shine a black light and you'll find them glowing around you. But it's not clear exactly what chemical causes this neon shine. Just that whatever chemical it is located in an outer layer of the scorpion's exoskeleton. That is why scorpions that have molted and are still growing out their new tough exoskeleton will not fluoresce. Now, why does the scorpion do this? We don't really know. But one possibility is that it turns the scorpion into a giant UV sensor, able to detect UV light even when it's nighttime, so that it can find darker places to hide in. And from one stinger to another, let's end with every picnic's favorite insect, the bee. Only the familiar yellow and black colors have been rendered into a more orange and teal combination here. This image of its eyes seems even more abstract. But maybe that's fitting, because bee eyes, well, they see things differently than we do. They can't see red, but they can see in the ultraviolet spectrum. And so, just as the way that we look through the microscope changes the world that we see, an animal's eyes change the world it sees. There are flowers with distinctive patterns painted in ultraviolet, a world that will always remain abstract and invisible to us. It's a world layered on our own, imagined with a vocabulary that can never fully do it justice. But not all visions are meant to be seen by us. Sometimes it's enough to just know that they exist, and to bring what little parts of them we can into our own world. Thank you for coming on this journey with us as we explore the unseen world that surrounds us. We'd also like to again thank Skillshare for supporting this video. Now that you've been up close and personal with some insects and arachnids, and have this new knowledge of all the details that make up their bodies, Skillshare is here to help you put that knowledge to good use, with courses like insect illustrations and animations in Procreate. You can create beautiful images of your favorite insects, and artist Liz Kohler-Brown will walk you through the process. You'll play around with colors and layouts that work for your personal style in order to create an insect illustration, and then you'll go a step further to learn how to actually animate that illustration. Skillshare is an online learning community that offers membership with meaning. With so much to explore, real-world projects to create, and the support of fellow creatives, Skillshare empowers you to accomplish real growth. It's curated specifically for learning, meaning that there are no ads to distract you, and they're always launching new premium classes so you can stay focused and follow wherever your creativity takes you. And if you're one of the first 1,000 people to click on the link in the description, you can get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare's premium membership. Now you might be asking yourself, how does a channel like this exist on YouTube, where there's like chill narration and chill music and chill visuals? It's not like big and flashy like a lot of what goes on this platform. Well, the reason that we can do this is because there are people who really like it. And some of those people, when they can, they help us out at patreon.com/journeytomicro. And these are those people, the people who make it possible for us to do this. And we are so grateful to them. If you want to see more from our master of microscopes, James Weiss, you can check out Jam and Germs on Instagram. And if you want to see more from us, there's always a subscribe button somewhere nearby.